Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mope and today we are talking about Married at First Sight, Where Are They Now? That aired on Wednesday, which is today. Okay, just so we're clear. I'm recording this literally as soon as I was done. I put on my makeup and I got right into this video. This particular episode consisted of Married at First Sight couples who are still married, as well as some divorced ones and then some problematic ones who said they were going to get divorced but never got a divorce. You get the point. Drama. You know what? I'm gonna name all of them for you guys, and then we can just talk about a few of them. Okay. So Anthony and Ashley, Jeffy and Shanice, Molly and John, Jamie and Doug, Jamie and Beth, Christine and Keith, Amber and Matt, and AJ and Steph. Those were the ones who showed up today for the episode, whether it was like in person or via like video conference call. So we're gonna dive right into some of them, and the first one I'm excited to talk about is Anthony and Ashley. I've loved their relationship from the beginning. They were the ones that had to figure out how to communicate together, or how to, and they said that too, that they're still learning on communication. But to be honest, they're probably one of my favorite couples. They love each other. It's very, very clear. I mean, all of them really. Majority of them love each other, and it's very, very clear, to be honest. However, those ones stood out to me from the very beginning of their season. Mind you, I have watched all of the seasons of Married at First Sight, so I think I'm fit to give you guys this particular review. Okay, so yes, Anthony and Ashley, they have a baby girl, and she's so adorable, and their relationship was good from the beginning. To be honest, they might have had like some communication issues, but they were able to get over it. They didn't bring much drama to the season. They were really just a couple that really wanted to get married. And one thing that Ashley kept on saying was that she wanted a child. Like, she wanted to get married and she wanted to be a mother so bad. And they were able to get pregnant, and now they have a wonderful, wonderful baby girl. And hopefully they'll be planning out for more, as they said that they would. But yeah, no, they're probably one of my favorite couples. Okay, so the next couple is Jeffy and Shanice. Jeffy and Shanice's relationship was definitely a rocky one. I don't think they're one of the couples I would never forget, just because of how rocky their marriage was. Jeffy was not attracted to Shanice to begin with. It was very, very clear. He made it very clear. He was one of those ones that their honeymoon was like a disaster. So typically, if we're married at first sight, they would get married, right? And then they don't see each other until the day of. And then once they, like, literally at the altar, then they get married at the altar or wherever they got married, and then they spend time together that night, and then the very next morning they will see their family, and right after that they're taking off on their honeymoon. Okay, so they're usually on their honeymoon for about a week, if I'm not mistaken, and then after that they would start their new lives together in their own apartments and stuff like that. And so I remember specifically back then they didn't have, like nowadays, in the recent seasons, the show has given each couple an apartment to live in. But back in those seasons, they didn't have they didn't have a house they were living in together type of thing. They either had to move into the guy's house or the girl's house. They had to figure out whose house was more convenient for them to live. I believe that Jeffy was definitely, if I'm hoping I'm not mistaken, but I think he was, if he wasn't the villain of the season, he was definitely one of the villains. He was not attracted to her, like I said, and he wanted to, I'm not sure he wanted out, because he really did want the marriage, but he didn't know how to make the marriage work with somebody he wasn't, like, he didn't have an instant attraction towards. And so I know that that was a big issue for them. They made a decision to get a divorce, and Shanice was really ready to call it quits, because she would cry every day. She went through it. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. She went through it in this marriage. However, Jeffy went around and messed around with other, I guess he was like, okay, well, we're getting divorced. I won't tuck it in. But then somehow, some way, the Lord captured his heart. Okay. And Jeffy went back to Shanice, and now they're like happily married. And they got pregnant with their baby girl. And man, I know she went through a lot on social media, because people were just like, wow, how dare you get him back? How dare you take him back? What do you want? Like, what is going on? Why do you even need to keep him in your life? Like, what's up, bruh? But eventually they made it work, and now they're married, and they're happily married, and I'm so happy for them. The only caveat about that is that they're both not wearing their rings. They both made a decision, apparently, to not wear their rings, of which Kevin, who is the host that was interviewing them, Kevin Frazier, was like, wait, but you do know that if you don't wear the ring, right, people were gonna think you're single. And then Shanice made a very great point, which is whether or not, like, this ring is on his fingers or not, that don't stop girls from coming in. But she really strongly believes that their commitment to each other is much more important than a ring. Um, I agree. I agree. I'm on the same page with her. The reason though that Jeff D um made, I guess they both made the decision not with the ring, was because Jeff D said that he really wanted to like he wanted to propose to her. He wanted to have that feeling of like, I proposed to her to for you to be my wife. Even though they're married, they are married, but you know, they understand each other. They, as long as they're on the same page, I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm not complaining about them at all. Okay, so let's talk about the next couple. This one was about Molly and John. I'm gonna try to insert like pictures so you guys can be able to see what they look like. But Molly and John's relationship was, I don't even know if annoying is the right word, because John was really nice. John was trying to give it his all. And Molly just, I don't know if Molly wasn't attracted to him or slash and she, everything he did irritated her. That was very, very clear. Long story short, they got a divorce. We were all ready for John to be free from Molly. They got a divorce. They let it go. Blah blah blah. However, a couple of months later, we found out that John and one of the experts of the show, Dr. Jessica, she's no longer an expert of the show, but Dr. Jessica was on the show. She was on the season that Molly and John was. Molly just never made it easy. Like John, like either she would lie about him, or she would just say things. Just she was very, in my opinion, I feel like she was very mean towards John, and so just Dr. Jessica made it clear like, you are lying, type of thing. But long story short, John and Dr. Jessica are now engaged and set to be married. They are happy together, and Molly said that after speaking with both Dr. Jessica and John, she doesn't feel any animosity. They wish her well, and she wishes them well as well. So I don't think she regrets her decision with him, though. Definitely not. So one of the couples I'm not really gonna dig deep about is Jamie and Dog. They are still happily married, and I'm so happy, because at first I did not think they were gonna make it at all. Like, I didn't think they were gonna make it at all. I wanted them to make it, but I didn't think they could pull through. But look at God. They're still happily married after 6 years. Now they're married for 6 years. So they're happily married, and now they have a child, a girl. And then they also have a baby on the way. Yay. I'm excited for them. Unfortunately, she did say that that they experienced multiple miscarriages, and yeah, which was pretty sad. To hear that, it was really, really sad, because I mean, no, like, you know, it was really sad. But other than that, I'm so happy because they were able to have, now they're, you know, they're pregnant. And so just keep them in your prayers, and pray, you know, that this pregnancy, you know, goes all the way, and that the baby's healthy and she's healthy as well. One of the most dramatic couples of this entire like series of Married at First Sight is Jamie and Beth. Their relationship was crazy. This time Jamie is the guy, and boy, they went through a lot. Like, I think it shocked all of us when, like, during decision day, we found out they were going to be together. They were going to stay together. And we were all just like, "Are you sure you sure you want to stay together?" Like, I was so surprised. A lot of us were really, really surprised. Like, what are you guys doing together? Like, they were definitely one of the most dramatic, one of the most, like, I don't even know if they didn't hate each other. They just didn't understand each other. Like, they were the depiction of marrying a stranger. They had no idea about each other. They didn't know each person's like way of communication. They didn't understand each other whatsoever. Beth was like the center of attention. She didn't mind being the center of attention. She loved it. She'll tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. They stayed together, long story short, and they're happy together, even to this time. They did make it very clear that they didn't want children during their season. However, this has been maybe a year, 2 years later at this point, and now they're thinking to have one child, and that's it. And I'm like, I don't blame y'all. No, whatever works for you. Christian and Keith, I believe they were the second African American couples to stay together. And Jeffy and Shanice was the first African American couple. First of all, she said she didn't mind doing the cooking and stuff like that. And then she did complain like, okay, what are you doing around the house if I am cooking and if I'm cleaning? And yeah, and I was just like, all right, girl, because technically, like, there has to be a 50-50 somehow. I mean, like, she was practically doing the things around the house, and she needed him to contribute. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like, are you guys about that 50-50 life, or are you guys about that, like, a man should not have to step in the kitchen? Because let me tell my future husband right now, we're gonna have to work together. That's just how this is gonna work, okay? Eventually, though, they were able to make it work, and they were able to, like, you know, he had to learn how to cook, and he went to like cooking classes and stuff like that, and he was able to cook. So, I mean, I thank God for that. But they were very much able to, like, work out their marriage, and it looks like they're still together and they're still happy together. Now for the relationships that didn't end well. Minnie and Zach's relationship, that relationship was comparison to Matt and Amber's relationship. Okay, Matt and Amber were another couple that were married, and Matt was like, I'm here for you type of thing. This is what I do. I'm a basketball player. I play basketball outside of America. However, this is my base. This is where I come. Minnie and Amber reminded me of so much of each other, and Matt and Zach reminded me of so much of each other. Okay, so Minnie and Amber so Amber really wanted to get married, just as Minnie wanted to get married, and Matt acted like he wanted to get married, just as Zach acted like he wanted to get married. However, both men were not attracted to each other. So let's talk about Matt and Amber specifically. Matt was not attracted to Amber, but I think he didn't make it. He said it maybe once or twice, but every other action of his was like, I want to, like everything he would say, I want to make it work. I want to make it work. But his actions were jank. Okay, he would go out, like he at least he stayed home, but I'm not even sure that made it any better. He would go out. He would do whatever he wants to. He came home at the wee hours of the morning, and she will be home just crying, devastated. I don't know where my husband is. And at some point, she found his ring in one of the bedside drawers, and I was just like, what? And nothing has changed. They still whack to this day. That was their first time seeing each other in 7 months, and they both Amber just didn't care about him, and Matt was like, he was just like just trying to be like this macho guy, and at some point he lost it because Amber was just like, bro, like when are you gonna give me the divorce? Like because Amber was like, I found somebody, I'm dating somebody, however I'm not divorced with the guy, and I'm also not separated with the guy. And they asked why, and she said that she sent him 3 different separation papers, of which he responded to none of them. And they asked him why, and he said he didn't see it. And he said, well, she should have texted me to let me know that like the separation papers are here. And she said, I did text you, and I did send you to the address that you told me to send it to, but I have gotten nothing from you. She brought the separation papers to the show, and Matt was like, oh no, I need my lawyers need to go through it. And Amber is like, I literally wrote in there, I don't want anything from you. I just want to be done with you. And he just kept saying like, I'm not going to sign anything on national television. I need my lawyers to go through it. And so Kevin Frazier was just like, you had months to go through this. Like, how come you still haven't gone through it? And bruh, he was like, oh, I haven't had time. I've been outside of the country. And Amber was just like, you haven't been outside the country the past couple of months because you've been around. Like, we live in the same city. It's not that big of a city. I know that you're around. And, of course, he didn't have no excuse to say about that. Nothing else to say as an excuse. He just rubbed me the wrong way from the start. He's one of those, like, he's definitely like Zach. Like, how I feel about Zach is how I still feel about him. This is so sad because it's been years from now, and he's still like, he claims that he's seeing somebody, but it just looks like he's not, because at the time, at some point, Amber was very pissed with him and walked off the show. And Kevin Frazier was just like, well, why don't you want to sign it? Like, what's the problem? And he was just like, well, if she can walk off the show, I'm going to walk off the show too. And he left, and on his way out, he said, I'm about to go call one of my IG models. So you're still the same childish human being. Alright, you guys, that brings me to the very end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. But let me know down below what your thoughts are. Who will be your favorite couple if you had to choose, or who are your top 3? My favorite couples are Anthony and Ashley, Kristen and Keith, Jamie and Beth. Those are, I will probably choose them. I love Beth. I literally, just the way she is, I love her. So let me know what other show you guys would like for me to review. But other than that, I think I'm gonna go now. Yeah, it's late and I need to go to bed, and I need to edit this video and also go to bed. Pray for me. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It greatly and generously helped me out, so thank you in advance. Don't forget to be kind to yourself as well as others around you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.